Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. So as promised in our last update video, in this video we're going to be telling you how to get booked on this summer, and as of right now the bookings are live on the website. So the links to all of this stuff is in the description below, but I recommend you stay around for the rest of this video because I'm going to be explaining what's on there and some of the details about the events we're running. So before we get into the events and the tickets for this summer though, the first thing I do want to talk about is our upcoming merch drop. So we've had lots of comment and questions about whether we're going to be doing merchandise, and there's been a few reasons why we haven't been able to up to now, but that is about to change. So let me stop forcing Skylar to sit on me and let's get down to business. So we are planning a merch drop which should be happening at some point in the next few weeks. Now this is going to work slightly differently to how we've done merchandise before, in that we're actually going to be doing a pre-order. There's a number of different reasons for this, the main one just being cost. It costs quite a lot of money to stock up all of our merchandise ahead of time, and with the situation being what it is, we don't necessarily have the resources to do that. So this is one way that we can do a merch drop, get you some of these awesome Revo merch whilst not breaking the bank. Now whilst pre-orders are great because they allow us to offer a wider range than we otherwise would, they will unfortunately obviously mean a slight delay in you getting your order, but all of that information will be provided you ahead of time so you can make a decision if it works for you. So the rough plan for this, as I say, we'll be announcing the full details in a few weeks time, but essentially we will announce the opening of the pre-order window. You'll then have a couple of weeks to go on the website, have a look at what we've got on there, see if anything catches your fancy. If it does, you order it. Once the pre-order window ends, they go off to the manufacturer. They'll get done in probably about a week or two depending on the volume. Then it'll come to us and we'll ship it out to you. So there'll be a few week delay, and we're aiming for basically delivery of merchandise somewhere around the beginning of June, maybe a little bit earlier. So during this pre-order we will be offering a couple of different things. We'll be offering the classic design, which is our main logo like what I'm wearing today, and that'll be available on the hoodies and t-shirts similar to what we did before. As well as our classic design, we've also teamed up with our friends at Storm Static, who have done designs for us before, and they have come up with an awesome new design to celebrate the rebirth and the rebuilding of the park. Now literally as we speak we are finalizing the design, but I am able to give you an exclusive sneak peek of it as it's in development right now. We think this is a really awesome design and captures sort of the rebuild and rebirth concept, and hopefully you'll like it and you'll be interested in getting a t-shirt or hoodie. As well as the standard hoodies and t-shirts for this design, we'll also be doing the long sleeve t-shirt we've done in the past, and I think is a really nice item of clothing and has certainly proven popular in the past. As I said, as we get closer to the opening of the pre-order window, we'll be certainly shouting about it on our social media, and there may be another video on here on YouTube if I can get around to making it, which will announce it. But like I say, make sure you're following at least one of our social medias, and then you won't miss out when the pre-order starts. All of our pre-order merch will be available through the website shop in the normal place, and on each page will be more information about the product and what you can expect. One important bit of information to bring to your attention is the fact that each product will have a sizing guide on there, and it's really important that you pay attention to that. As essentially these are being made to order, we won't be able to offer sort of exchanges and refunds if you've ordered the wrong size, so make sure you sort of pay close attention to that and only order if you're satisfied it's going to be the right thing for you. Another important thing I want to let you know about is the pricing of our merchandise, and you can expect it to be a little bit higher than it was previously. Now there's a couple of main reasons for this. Number one, in the sort of year and a half since we've last sold merchandise, as you're probably well aware, things have gotten more expensive and the products coming to us have gone up in price quite significantly. However, full disclosure, another reason for this is that this merchandise sale is in part funding the redevelopment of the park. In the past we've tried to keep our prices sort of as low as they can possibly be, with the view that we make our money on the uplift, not on merchandise, so it's kind of just a little bit of a bonus, and our main thing was wanting to make sure that as many people as possible could get our merch and have access to it, so we kept the prices kind of very low. With the new situation the park finds itself and the need for funds to fund the redevelopment, this is essentially kind of our way of raising some funds to pay for the rebuild. This does mean that the prices are going to be higher than they were before, but we of course are going to try and make sure they are still competitive and hopefully cheaper than you'll find at other places. Right, so that's the merch drop plug done, so let's get into the real meat of this video. How do you get to come here and ride this summer? So all things being well in the world of internet technology, the website bookings for the summer push-up will have gone live exactly the same same time this video went live. So to clarify some of the details for our summer push-up, these days are going to be running Wednesday to Sunday every week. They're going to start on Thursday the 11th of July and the last day will be Sunday the 22nd of September. As discussed in the previous video, we will have a number of the trails running, some of the old favourites will be open, some new stuff and some newly refreshed stuff. As I say, we did talk about that in the previous video, so go check that out if you want to, but obviously there'll be more information coming out as we get closer to the day about what's actually up and running and what to expect on the day. As explained previously, these days will be push-up only. We may, and I stress may, have an uplift running on a kind of ad hoc pay-as-you-go basis, the idea being that it will ferry you to the top of the hills to spend the day sessioning 50 and save your legs on that initial push, but that's still a little bit up in the air, so like I say, assume it will be push-up only. The cost per day will be £15, and as I said, you can book these days through the website right now. One thing I do want to mention is when you do your booking, please check out the Accept a Risk or AOR. If you've been here before, you'll be aware of the process. It takes only a couple of minutes and it's a pretty self-explanatory process through the website. You can do it on the day here, but if you do it here, you're relying on our kind of crappy internet and potentially having to queue up to use the tablet and things like that, and it will significantly delay your start of your riding day. And if someone else is booking for you, you can still head to the website and fill out the AOR for yourself. Everyone has to do it for themselves. It's not something you can do once for a booking of say 5. So like I say, if you are coming, head to the website, do your AOR, get it done, then you don't need to worry about it going forward. In terms of number of spaces for these days, we're going to be initially putting out 120 spots for each day. Now this is a fairly limited number of spaces we're putting out initially, and we do expect to be doing more of this, so if you do miss out on a particular day, don't worry too much, there will be more tickets coming down the line. Either we'll be adding more tickets to the website in the future, or if possible, we're going to be opening the park up to a sort of turn up and ride type model. It's important for you to understand that this is a completely different business model to what we've operated before. Ideally, we would like to just be able to open it up so you can sort of turn up and ride on the day, but obviously we just need to be a little bit careful how we manage demand so that we don't end up with hundreds of people turning up on one day and not being able to accommodate people in the car park or not having enough on the hill for people to ride. So like I say, we're just going to take this tentatively, and as we sort of grow our understanding and knowledge of it, then we can sort of adjust the numbers accordingly. Hopefully you saw our video a few weeks back where we talked about the events we're going to be running this year, and it kind of goes without saying that on the days that those events are running, that the park will not be open to the public in the general way. If you're interested in getting onto those specific events, then check out that previous video we did. It's got links to all of the events and how to book onto them. Okay, so that's how you book onto a normal day, but what if you fancy an entire summer of riding at revs? Well, don't you worry, we've got you covered as well with our summer pass. Now the summer pass is essentially an unlimited pass for the entire summer, which allows you to come and ride to your heart's content for one fixed price. Now we've priced it at £75, which is the equivalent to coming to the park to ride for 5 days, which we felt like it was a pretty happy medium. Given the period that we were running, if you were to come every day, you would be able to get over 50 days of riding for that £75. That's assuming you've got the stamina and the time available, but I think that's a pretty decent deal. Only caveat to that is just to bear in mind that, as I said, with events running on certain days, your summer pass will not get you access to those events because they're private and being run separately. However, even taking those into account, as I say, there is around about 50 days of riding you could get for your summer pass. So like I say, if you're planning on being here quite a bit over the summer, it's probably a good deal for you. As another little cherry on the cake, the summer pass will get you a reserved slot on the first weekend. Obviously it goes without saying that there's probably going to be a lot of people who want to come for that first weekend, so it may sell out pretty quickly. So if you buy yourself a summer pass, then like I say, you have free access to that day because you've got your summer pass, and as I say, we will reserve you a slot on that day to make sure you can come along. The summer pass is available to buy right now on the shop page of our website, and as I said, links for that are in the description below. On that page you will find more information regarding the summer pass, how it works, and some terms and conditions for it. If you do decide to buy one, you'll receive a confirmation email from the website telling you that you purchased it and it's gone through, and we will in that email ask you to respond and let us know if you're coming on that first weekend. Again, it's just so we can have an idea of demand and just manage the numbers for that first potentially very a busy weekend. When you arrive for the first time using your summer pass, we'll take some more details off you and we will issue you with a rubber wristband, and this wristband will be your pass for the rest of the summer. You'll need to bring it with you every time. If you do lose it or you don't have it with you, there will be a £5 replacement charge, so it's important that you hang on to it and bring it with you every time you come to ride. It's also worth noting that these passes are not transferable. They are only for the person who purchases them, and if we do find people sort of giving them to their friends to come and ride, then you will find that your pass will get cancelled and you won't receive a refund. I hope you can understand the reasons for this, so please don't do that. So like I say, if you're planning on spending a big chunk of your summer over here, then the summer pass is almost certainly going to be the way to go. Like I say though, the numbers are very limited, so if you want one, I would head over to the website now and order them, because we're expecting them to sell out pretty fast. The final thing I want to talk about in this video is that we are also releasing the tickets to the 50-to-1 sunset session, which is happening on Saturday the 17th of August. Now I talked about this in a previous video, but just to reiterate, this is going to be a sort of fairly chilled out sessioning day centered around the top of the hill, where you get to sort of hang out with the 50-to-1 crew and as well as ourselves and ride some of the tracks up there. Timings are going to be slightly different for this day, as it's centered around the sort of sunset end of the day, so we're going to be starting around 12 o'clock and it'll run up till about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, depending on the day, the weather and how much light there is at that time of night. So we'll be running a series of mini sort of competitions through the day, fairly low-key stuff, maybe some sort of whip-offs, best jumps, that kind of thing, but generally just so you can sort of show off your style and skill in front of the 50-to-1 guys, and obviously there'll be some sort of spot prize and things like that for those who impress the most. It's worth noting that whilst this day is centered around the 50-to-1 track, it won't be the only thing open on the day. In fact, everything that's open on a normal day will be open. We will be sort of more focusing and setting up stuff at the top, but even up there you've got, you've got 50, you've got red free ride, you've got far side jumps, you've got top of far side and vision just below it. So there'll be plenty to ride if 50-to-1 is a little bit out of your comfort zone. Tickets for this day will also include food at the end of the day. We're sort of making plans for this. Either some kind of barbecue or some kind of buffet type thing, but we've got a couple of people we're talking to for food, so expect some nice grub at the end of the day. And as I say, this is included in your ticket price. As I say, your ticket includes dinner, but it doesn't include lunch, but we will have a sort of tuck shop running at the top, so you can get some snacks and supplies if you haven't brought any of your own. There'll also be music and lots of other sort of riding type things going on, so it should just be a really fun and sort of chilled out day. So as well as being a hopefully really fun day, this event will be again contributing towards the rebuild of the park, and I want to say a big thank you to the 50-to-1 crew for supporting this day and also in general supporting the redevelopment of Revolution Bike Park. So given this aim of raising funds for the rebuild of the park and the fact that the day is going to be slightly more involved than a normal day, it is going to be a bit more expensive and the tickets are going to be charged at £45. The initial drop of tickets for this day will be in the region of 120 to 150, so it's going to be fairly limited, and it's worth noting that your summer pass doesn't get you access to this, so if you do want to come along, make sure you book for this. And as I say, I expect these tickets to go pretty quickly as well, so I wouldn't delay if you want to get onto it. Right, so that's given you all the information of the events and how to get booked on. The final point that I do want to cover with you is that obviously we're all praying and crossing everything we've got that we're going to have a beautiful summer, but as it's Wales, we know that may not be the case. As we've mentioned before, the fact that we have no trees on the hill creates a more significant issue when it comes to wind and could lead to us having to close certain days if the weather is particularly extreme. Obviously we're hoping that that isn't going to happen, but if we have to cancel days for extreme weather and you're booked onto that day, you will receive a refund for that booking. However, when it comes to the summer pass, if we have to cancel say a handful of days throughout the summer, you won't get a refund for your summer pass, as we think there's still enough days available for you to get your money's worth. If the entire summer turns into a washout and we have sort of major issues in that area, then we'll revisit that conversation, but just wanted to be upfront and open with you about that situation. So anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you're excited and looking forward to getting back on the hill to do some riding. If you are, then head over to our website now to secure your spot. Remember to subscribe if you want to follow along with our rebuild journey. We have some more build diaries in the works and they'll be coming down the road to you in a few weeks time. But most of all guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video, and I hope very much we'll see you in the next one.